Well, good Tuesday evening to everyone. It is good to see you and it is good to be seen by you. I, of course, am the one, and to date, as far as anyone is aware, Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Tuesday evening. And welcome to our show, everyone. Charles Latour, Atomic FX, good to see you out there in audience land. And hey, if you're watching out there on X, formerly Twitter, give us a shout. Give us a hello. Let us know that you're out there. And I certainly hope you are. But anyway, guys, welcome to the show. And I just want to start off on the right foot. Rory, hello. FMCS Recon, the Badger. But I just want to start out, first of all, by saying thank you again to everyone for your outpouring of support. The Zeus situation. He continues to improve. He continues to get better. He is slowly but surely getting back on his feet. And that is an exceptionally wonderful thing. I'm very glad about that. Now, with that said, I am going to say this. Well, first of all, I will preface it by discussing why I had to jump up in the middle of last night's live stream and flee for a few minutes. Everything was fine. Everything was fine. Ardu RPG, good to see you. Shrek PMC, good to see you too. Well, he's a pretty big dog, D in disability. I know where he's at. Sorry. Anyway, so Zeus has vertigo. Basically, let's just cut away me trying to sound smart with all the big words, the big $10 veterinary words my vet use. He has vertigo. It's getting better. Sometimes it just happens in old dogs. They just get vertigo. And it made it where he couldn't stand up. He couldn't walk, obviously. And because he couldn't see what was right in front of his face, and because he was nauseous, he didn't want to eat or drink. So you see your animal lying on the ground, unable to move, unable to eat or drink. Yeah. So we took him to the vet, to the emergency vet, and we got the info. And he said, hey, this stuff will eventually go away. He'd only ever seen one case where it was a brain tumor, and the animal in question did not get better. But he said, this is just something that slowly gets better on its own over time. And of course, as it gets better, doggy wants to get up and get moving. 80 pounds of Labrador that can't quite walk across a room without falling over is a bit of a handful for one person. So Mrs. the Dungeon Delver hollered for me, and that's why I had to leap up. So with that said, it is absolutely positively imperative that if she needs me to help her because he's decided I'm going to stand up and I'm going to go walkies, which is what he did last night, that I get up and I go do that. That is that is an imperative thing. And I think you guys can understand that. I feel pretty confident that you guys know where I'm coming from when I say I might have to get up and go out there and tend to Zeus, because he is an important part of the life and happiness of here at the Delver's Dungeon. And I consider him a four-legged member of my family. And when I thought he was, let's just say Saturday around noon, I was pretty damn scared. But we had a good vet. And so I feel like I'm pretty sure you guys understand that. So with that said, there has been a huge outpouring of assistance, and I have been thinking about what I can do, and that brings me to another point. Um, a few years ago, I sold some 3D prints, some 3D resin prints. And I said, that's it. When these orders are filled, no more. Nobody gets no more. They're done. I am going to reopen those. I'm going to do the owl bears. I'm going to do the green devil faces, and I'm going to do the beholders. And also I am adding a handcrafted, I did this, Umber Hulk miniature to that, to those prints that I'm offering. I will set a number of prints of each. When they fill, I will start printing them, and then I will take money. I will not take pre-orders. And it's going to be on a first come, first serve basis. If you want 2, I'll send you 2. If you want 10, I'll send you 10, whatever. But D and Disability has already claimed an Umber Hulk, guys. D and Disability wants an Umber Hulk. So I will tell you guys what the prices are. The Umber Hulks will probably be the least expensive. The Beholders will probably be the most expensive. But that is what I'm going to do to try and you'll take 2. Okay, well, there's 2, how many ever I decide of the Umber Hulk print run to do. D and Disability just claimed 2 of them. But I will create a contact email, and I will not take money for these orders until the prints are done and ready to be shipped. But I will take the orders, so it won't be like, I printed up 10, claim them. The people who want them can claim them. So that is what I'll be doing to help pay for the good dog Zeus's vet bills that still remain. And the folks who have already contributed, I will find out some way to recompense them. That is correct, Rory. But again, I don't want any money until I am ready to start sending them out. So that is what's going on there. This will be the Zeus for Life fund, if you will. So I hope you guys will all get in on that. And I will probably set a date and an amount, like let's say 20 Beholders, 20 Green Devil Face walls from Tomb of Horrors, 10 Umber Hulks, and 5 sets of Owl Bears or something like that. But also with a date. Like if I get them all within the first week, that's it. If I get them all, or if a month goes by, then I'll close it. But one way or the other, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out for you guys. And I am already getting email orders. So thank you, those of you who have ordered. But hearing about my financial woes is not while you're here. But I will ask you, if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Please click the bell icon for notifications about our live streams, like what we're doing tonight. We are playing First Edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. And when I say we are playing First Edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, what I do not mean is a Critical Role kind of, sort of, well, where we pretend to play Dungeons and Dragons. There's no script writing sessions. There's no table reads. There's no rehearsals. There's no story arcs. Guys, we could get 5 minutes into tonight's session. 5 minutes into tonight's session. And then bang, total party kill. And everybody's rolling up new characters. The dice that I will roll, that you will see, that they will see, will all absolutely 100% be for real. So get ready, because here it comes. Yang Yan Zhao says, how about 10 bird safe meta packs in Gamble World? If anyone wanted some. We can talk about that, Yang. We can talk about that. So what do you mean? You say, Bill, you're going to be playing D&D. Do you have people who are going to play D&D with you? And the answer is, well, yes, I do. It would be kind of sad if I just sat here and played D&D with myself. So without further ado, let me put on my studio headphones here, right here, and let me welcome in our stable of players. These are all really awesome dudes, and I'm going to introduce them as we bring them in. So first up, we have a fellow. He's got a YouTube channel here. It's Doom Swords, right here on YouTube. You should check it out because there's good content, and there's good content coming. Everybody say hello to Doom Sword Deathmaster as Jurek Donagard.
Hey, what's up?
Just you, man, just you. And speaking of movers and shakers on YouTube and in other fields, this cat here is putting up some amazing stuff on social media. If you like science, if you like pop culture, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like informative, newsy live streams, if you like the occasional live stream with a handsome classic TTRPGer YouTube personality, you should definitely subscribe to Timothy M. Holt here on YouTube, and he is playing our resident magic user, Elminar. Everybody say hello to Timothy.
Oh my God, it's a mirage. I'm here.
Oh my gosh. All right. And I just, the hits just keep on coming with our YouTube personalities playing tonight, because this next cat, he's been with us since like that opening volley on Tuesday afternoon when we started this up as a teaching experience for learning to play first edition AD&D. He's got his own YouTube channel here. It's D and Disability. He's an absolutely great guy who does some really good content. Everybody, please welcome Thane Kyle as Holder.
I'm nothing if not a teacher, Bill, and actually the next month of videos basically is going to be about how to use these games as therapy. So teaching you how to use these games. There's a new paper that's come out, so I'm kind of excited. It's preliminary, and it's not user digest friendly yet, but I'm gonna hope to try and make it more accessible for you guys.
All right, sounds fascinating. We'll keep our eyes out for that. And last and definitely not least, here's a guy. He doesn't need a YouTube channel for his awesomeness, but he's an awesome guy nonetheless. Everybody, please welcome Kevin as Don Drexel, Magic User Thief. He'll steal your heart, folks.
Yeah, let me know if you don't get good audio.
No, you're 5x5.
Perfect.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Son of a...
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yes, I did, actually. And as usual, it doesn't work.
Speaking of which, this is one of the things that kind of popped up, and it's D&D adjacent because there was a Dungeons and Dragons episode of this show. It was a UK sitcom back in the early 2000s called The IT Crowd, about two IT guys in Rainholm Industries, I think it was. A fantastic cast of characters, and they had a nepo baby coworker who Jen, who knew nothing about computers but was sent there because she needed someplace to be in the company. And they did the whole, if we give her an inert object, it will give her confidence thing. and they wired up a project box with a single red light on the top and said, Jen, this is the internet. You can't go wrong if you have the internet. We took this from on top of London Bridge and we're lending it to you. And of course, great shenanigans occur in the episode. But the person who wrote the show still had the box and he auctioned it off. He was talking on eBay about how he is auctioning off the internet box. And I responded to him and I said, man, you've got to get that back on top of London Bridge. Everybody's internet's going to be down. So anyway, so welcome everyone. Last week, the party had set out from the wild coast city of Barnacus. You had taken up sword and shield after accruing much fortune and more than a little bit of fame from winning the treasure of a group of deadly will-o'-the-wisps by sheer dint of protection from evil, and by dealing with a swarm of furious wasps. And you are now journeying back across into the heart of the Drakensgrab Hills to return to the Slaver's Stockade, where you have, shall we say, much unfinished business. It was day 3 of your journey, and nothing had befallen you yet. The skilled amongst you at using the map and following your trail, you recognize the occasional signs of old camps that you had left along the way, as well hidden as you could. And so the next pair of days equally pass uneventfully, and you find yourselves again at the tree line near to the great stockade. It's different though. It's been cut back by at least 50 more yards, and fortunately, Don Drexel, despite being a thief, you do understand well enough about bushcraft that you're able to spot a couple of painfully obvious deadfalls covered with branches and leaves, and swinging logs with rather nasty looking spikes hanging up in trees. You don't even need to roll for it as you near the place on your trail. And you do have accompanying you, of course, you have Paul, who is a fighter. And so, gentlemen, there before you, in the light of the sun, which is rising behind you, you see the Slaver's Stockade. What is your intention?
Previously, we set up a camp behind an outcropping of rock.
Okay.
I suggest we do the same to avoid being spotted.
I think that's a good plan. We should make sure we can't be seen and set up camp.
Yeah, and once we're set up, then I'll scout forward to see if we could see who's anybody on the roof or anybody in the gateway or courtyard or whatever the heck it is in front of that place.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I was just going to communicate with the party. So as far as my general spells go, does anybody have any particular preference?
Well, protective or enhancement measures are always welcomed. Healing. Healing has been a big problem in here in the past.
Now,
Paul, with his iron thews, does not appear to need such a thing, I would imagine. Is that not right, Paul? See?
Yes.
Strong
Yes.
inside.
Indeed. But in truth, would you prefer healing, or would you prefer I go against my better nature and remove someone entirely from the fight? Bowman, perhaps.
I would certainly prefer the latter.
Okay.
My God has bestowed me with healing powers as well. They're scant for this place, but I expect a great deal of danger.
Indeed, and I expect to be right behind you the entire time.
And I thank you for that, Brother Priest.
You have my unconditional support from a football field away.
Perhaps
right
we'll
behind.
find the one true God, but that is a different matter.
Okay, so well, that answers the question of sticks to snakes then.
All right, so Paul, who has been pulling his weight quite ably along the way, worked. Now, did you guys bring your small cadre of men at arms with you?
I feel like we weren't even trying to mess with them anymore.
Okay.
But if anybody disputes that, you know,
I
speak
have
up. I mean,
I have no cares.
neither do I. They're going to get slaughtered. And even the other times we came in here, we just left them out here doing stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so if
paying for peace of mind to guard the horses isn't bad,
right,
but yeah,
yeah, I mean, if we need a couple of guys out here to guard our horses and our belongings, which we most certainly do, particularly if we end up hauling off a good bit of treasure that's more than we can carry, then I would say, yeah, we've brought a few. I'm not really concerned about their upkeep so much. I mean, we shouldn't be. We're doing pretty well right now, but we'd hate to lose our treasure and whatnot.
Yeah, there were 4 heavy footmen and a teamster, so they're not going to be good for questing at all. So I'm good with whatever we do with them, or decide not to do with them.
I think that's a good mix, and the Teamster at least knows how to keep a secret.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, what happened to the knoll that attacked the camp? I don't know nothing. Maybe there wasn't a knoll.
You shouldn't ask questions about no, man.
All right, so Paul assists the men at arms with setting up the camp, because hey, he wants a comfortable bunk to come back to if push comes to shove. So a couple of discreet lean-tos are created behind a slope, a reverse slope there. So you're in a defilade, and that takes a couple of hours. So it's coming up on midday. In the interim, Kevin, you said that Don Drexel was going to scout ahead. Define, please, for me what you mean and what you're doing and how you're going about it.
Okay, so first and foremost, what time of day is it? We're here.
All right, you arrive midday. So, I'm sorry. You arrive mid-morning. So the sun is still behind you as you do arrive.
Okay, so if I recall, there's a trench that goes around part of the stockade.
There,
right?
Yes, there is a dry moat basically that you recall being around the perimeter of the place. It is at the foot of the palisade wall, however. So it's
it's
not
that far
like,
forward. Okay.
Yeah, it is like standing in it. You'd be looking up at the wall like that.
I understand. Well, I mean, if we're not going to... It depends if they want to wait until nightfall for us to go in. It's probably the safest thing, as there's always been jerks on the roof of this place every time we've came in or out.
And indeed, even from this distance, if you peer at the place, you can see jerks on the roof and on the wall.
Yeah, but we have a nuclear weapon in the form of a ring that should be
At
very safe.
night.
So
At night,
yeah.
we have a nuclear threat, so
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
that
that's true.
yeah.
As the Clash would say, jerks on the roof.
Oh God.
But yeah, I suggest we wait, since those jerks are up there until nightfall and try to infiltrate either through the window we've done in the past, or we could even try to go in the front gate if that makes more sense.
I mean, realistically, if we're going to do this, I'm not one to advocate violence. Of course, I would rather reason with them and get them to leave by peaceful means. But it is readily apparent they can't. It might seem that the most expedient option of incinerating them all instantly and painlessly might be the most humane method possible, let's say.
It will make a lot of noise, so we will need to make haste. But walking across the field is folly as it is, for, as you well know, these foul creatures are capable of seeing as well as a man does during the day, but at night. I'm open to any suggestions. Get me in there.
A day attack makes no sense. We're going to all wind up as pincushions for arrows, but a night infiltration, I think, is best either through the windows or through the front, but I'll leave it to you.
Bill,
Yes.
during the day, against my better judgment, I'm going to burn a speak with animals,
Okay.
and just to see if I can get any knowledge from the local wildlife here. Is there a cistern that they can go to, or that they have gone to? Is there a hole maybe toward the back that we just don't know about? Right? Anything like that that we should be aware of, or that they might be aware of.
Okay. So you get a couple of crows, or you get a crow. He is laconic, but amenable to discuss.
I mean, if you use a crow, I'll happily bribe them with peanuts. They're probably their favorite. They're pretty much their favorite food.
He expresses disgust about the gnolls because they shoot arrows at birds that they see and other animals that they see, but rarely, if ever, do they retrieve them to eat them. In times of thirst, he has seen his brothers circle to the round stone pond in the midst there, and you guys remember there is a fountain in the middle of the entry courtyard. But they no longer do that because, again, they're shot at with stone and arrow. So they kind of avoid the place because the gnolls always seem to be ill-tempered and willing to kill for no reason.
And that pool doesn't have an outlet, does it?
Not that the crow is aware of, no.
Yeah. Worth the ask.
But he does thank you for the peanuts. Greatly.
Yeah. Anytime. Come back next week.
All right. Okay. So, gentlefolk.
I would imagine it would be best served. I'm sorry.
No. I'll share the information with the party. Such
Right.
that it is.
If you are aware of any secret method to infiltrate this place that was passed on by your animal friend, I am willing to take it. However, failing that, I would say that we send our distinguished companion, Don Drexel.
Our most noble and esteemed burglar, may the hair on his toes never fall out.
Or burn off. Yes.
But no, the crow, sad to say, did not have anything useful. There's a pond in there, but, there's no apparent outlet. So, nor do they have a drainage cistern into the dry ditch, which is what I was hoping for. But, as much as crawling through a sewer wouldn't exactly be fun, it is historically accurate.
All right, gents. So, the crow was as helpful as he could be. Your conversation didn't take that long, so it's still only about midday. So, Don Drexel, where are you going on your reconnoitering?
Well, I think I'm going to stay this far back. I'm going to
Okay.
try to sneak to the east, or well, we're coming from
The north.
the. Is it the north?
Yeah, that's your path basically takes you to the north, so you're looking essentially at the front of the place.
Okay, so north is towards the gates.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I want to go to the east, off, because they're going to be watching the gates much more, or they should be watching the gates much more, let's say, carefully than they would like a wall on the side that doesn't have an opening. So I'm gonna try to sneak over to the east some, and then see if there's an opportunity for me to get closer to the gate or to the wall in the moat, or if it's just as carefully watched.
Okay.
And I'll hide in shadows if I can. If it's midday, they're basically straight down, right?
You move completely unseen. If they are aware of you, they have got poker faces like nobody's business, because there are a couple of points where you cross the eye line of, at least a couple of them staring straight at the point between two great oaks as you dash between them. They don't even react. You may move, I will say, if we consider it 12 o'clock, you may move to the 3 o'clock position before you need to tell me what you're up to. The fields are just rolling dirt. There's the occasional downed tree or large stump. You don't know how reliable that would be for cover trying to move all the way in, but you started at the 12 o'clock and you've moved around to the 3 o'clock. What do you wish to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna watch the sky right over the top of the wall to see if I see any movement there, and where they are.
A few minutes pass, and you let your eyes come into focus, and you can see along the eastern wall. Let me give you a correct amount here,
Okay.
because you do see guards. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you the right amount and where they are. That is entirely the wrong part of the module. I was like, wait, that's not a storeroom. I'm looking for the castle wall. All right.
It's that ring of X-ray vision I have.
Yeah. Okay. So the parapet. Here is a guard walkway behind the stockade log wall. The parapet surrounds the fort on three sides and connects to the walkway on the gatehouse walls. The parapet is made of wooden platforms on packed dirt. At the top of the earthen rampart, a log stockade surrounds the top of the rampart, and arrow slits are cut in the wall at waist height every 10 feet. You see a watch of knoll guards. There appear to be two of them at every guard post. They pace back and forth a little bit. Sometimes a pair of two will meet and they'll yammer. You obviously at this distance you can't hear them, and then they go back. But they are keeping their eyes surveilling the outside, and so from where you are, you can see. Come on now. Sorry, just trying to get to my map. By the way, those of you who have enjoyed our use of miniatures and Dwarven Forge, we will be returning to that. It's been a busy weekend. I didn't quite get a chance to get everything set up. So you can see on the eastern wall, let's see, 5 watch posts of 2 knoll guards each. Occasionally they pass back and forth. So there's a total of 10 knolls in groups of 2, and they look to be spaced maybe 50 or 60 feet apart along that that parapet wall.
Okay. Sure. That's not great. I am not sure I'm going to be able to. I mean, I could use this as a way to distract them, but I don't think I'm going to be able to sneak up and miss all of them. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to go back to the party group and discuss the situation with them.
Alrighty. Just remind me, please, what's your hide in shadows?
Oh, it's like 175%.
Really? That
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
wouldn't you have
no.
it? Null vision is.
Wait, I
Yeah,
thought it was
it's-
275%.
Yeah, it's 53, Bill. 53%.
Okay. Alrighty. So, again, they don't appear to notice you as you move back from the 3 o'clock to the 12 o'clock position.
All right, I'll let the party know that there are 10 gnolls on that east face. Probably some of them sharing the other walls at the corners or whatever. But there's 2 groups of 5, and they are pretty active. They didn't seem to see me at a distance, but closing in with no real cover to speak of, I could do it as a distraction, but I doubt it would be successful for me to get up to the wall.
Did you perhaps take that shape-changing potion? Or was it our other distinguished wizard?
No, I believe you have it.
All I have is a potion of clairaudience.
I gave up polymorph self last session
Yeah.
and took it off my sheet. Gave it to somebody and said that it was a gift from my priesthood. Basically, it came with the character. So, and I haven't had occasion to use it.
I thought that
But
was.
you might
I thought
try
that was
that.
given to him.
Oh, I think I have that actually because it's on my character sheet. So yeah, if somebody would like it.
Yeah, there you go.
What would you prefer I do? Or, are 2 of us going to attempt it? One
mean-
changed and myself just trying to sneak?
Well, I think it is most critical that we get magical fire upon those locations. I have no ranged weapons. Perhaps Paul
How-
does.
How long does that potion of shape change last?
The potion of polymorph self functions as the magic user spell. However, potions generally have a different duration. Let me see here. Fortunately, that is not in the. That one is not in the Dungeon Master's Guide that many times. Give me just a moment to find it.
My thought is what do you think of a crazy idea of transforming someone into a giant badger and having them dig under the wall? As opposed to going over the wall.
Ooh, we could certainly do that. We would need a long tunnel, however.
Well,
I mean, if I am not to be seen from afar.
even if they see us tunneling, what are they going to do about it? Come to the tunnel and say hello?
Fire their arrows and whatever other malfeasances that such evil creatures intend to afflict upon the good.
So, was the courtyard just dirt, or was it stone, or I mean, usually it's dirt, right?
It was dirt. It was kind of muddy dirt because you guys fought the Onkeg there.
Right. Okay.
And it leaped up out of a mud puddle. And you know that flagging the courtyard would have been a, hey, let's knock the castle down and rebuild it level of upgrade, and
Yeah.
it doesn't look any different. So
Okay.
Even
Well-
if we could just hit that old Ankeg nest then.
The other option is perhaps you can trick them out. I don't know if that will alert the entire compound, however.
Why become a really pretty knoll lady? That's your
getting
eyelashes. That's
some Bugs Bunny vibes out of that.
It's such a wonderful monster too.
I will
Get the
hold
glove
you
to slap
and
somebody
squeeze.
with. Hold him and squeeze him and call him George.
Call him George.
So there's either a bad choice or a really bad choice. There's sort of nothing in the middle.
Yeah, the only option that I can offer is I can just run up there and see what happens. You know, that's not going to be very good, most likely.
Paul claps his hand on your shoulder and says, "My friend, I think what would happen is you would be shot through with cloth yard shafts. What of this potion that can turn someone into something else? Could it
Indeed.
turn
I'm
me
still
into a
offended for
rich
bad
man?"
Well, it will not turn you into a rich man, and for you see, the riches are of the spirit and of the heart, as is taught by the Church of Foltus, which you well know, but I understand it was merely a joke.
Yes.
How far is our rock from the wall?
Your rock, it was once surrounded by trees. Well, as I recall, you guys were some distance, so you're about 150 yards from the wall. Your rock is now just inside the tree line, as opposed to having been a good distance away.
Okay. I'm just wondering how far I could get up before they see me.
So is there an approach we could take that limits the number of them that might see us at once, and perhaps they won't alert others while they're investigating?
That would be the intelligent plan.
So let's find. We could always wait until night and infiltrate then, which opens up some other possibilities.
Yeah, I think during the daytime, this is, unless we're going to assault, just run up and fireball the wall, which I'm not against, by the way. We're probably going to be better off waiting. But, you know, if you
I
want me
agree.
to, I can go about 80 yards from the wall to get the fireball off, which is about half again as far as we are now. If I do that from the east, then perhaps it will surprise them, and they'll assume we're going to attack from that position, where we can then approach either from the west or from the south.
Yes, this is what I was wondering about tricking and distracting them.
What if that potion is used not by you necessarily, but by somebody on our side to help lift those gates?
Just transform to something that's very strong.
Yeah, like an ogre.
Does polymorph do that?
So here is polymorph self, which is what a potion is. When this spell is cast, or in this case, when this potion is consumed, the magic user is able to assume the form of any creature from as small as a wren to as large as a hippopotamus, and its form of locomotion as well. The spell does not give the other abilities, attack, magic, etc., nor does it run the risk of changing the personality and mentality, so no system shock is required. Thus, a magic user could change to an owl could fly, but his or her vision would be human. A change to a black pudding would enable movement under doors or along halls and ceilings, but not the pudding's offensive or defensive capabilities. Naturally, the strength of the new form must be sufficient to allow normal movement.
So it's the shape of part of the Wonder Twin powers.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So we could turn into a dragon, scare them, sneak the party in, and then whoever turned into a dragon has to figure out the way in. Anyway,
I mean, that's
Pretty much.
Precisely.
flying. You don't get the breath weapon, but assuming you wanted a dragon of smaller size, it
A
would
hippopotamus-sized dragon.
A hippopotamus size.
I think a white dragon tends to be the smaller one, isn't it?
How about it? Just a flying hippopotamus is probably scarier than a dragon.
You're not wrong.
You drink the potion and accidentally think of Moo Ding.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
big is
Exactly what I'm
how
saying.
big is its poop? Then we could just fly over and.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
You might gain the ability to poop.
Well, see,
Everybody
it's not the
poops,
ability
dudes.
that he needs. It needs the windmill-like tail, so it goes everywhere.
Yeah, that's just gross.
And it is one option, right? We could do something along those lines of distract them in a direction and then come back around. But then we have a part. We've split the party, which I read someplace is always a silly thing to do.
I mean, it's not always a silly thing to do. It's just usually a silly thing to do.
It's
Assuming
always
you
been
could
a
move
silly
fast
thing
enough.
to do with this group.
You might evade the arrows.
Well, that's the other problem is whoever does that has to evade the arrows very carefully.
Still, do we have a means of turning invisible?
No, I don't
drink
think
the
we have
potion of
that.
polymorph self. Me, but invisible. Nope, that's not how that works. That's not how that,
That
works.
would rock.
I could
It
polymorph
would be an
into
invisible dragon.
I could polymorph into an owlbear and just hug everybody, and then we have this whole problem solved.
Exactly.
It's just a different way.
No, you know what?
So how was it the party got in the last time? Why don't we just duplicate whatever worked?
By going through the front door.
Well, let's do that. Let's go. Through
But
the
that
front
was
door and
because
have
we
the
had
fun.
a giant dude.
Well, no,
No,
that's how we
you
got
got
out.
Yeah.
That's how we got out.
That's how we
Well,
got
actually,
out.
The first time we went in via the front door. The second time we went in via the tower.
Yeah, the window.
Right, and I believe it was Kevin's character, right? That,
Yep.
Yep.
It was
that
Don
did the
Drexel,
tower
actually.
stuff for us.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Don Drexel.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say you have been here before?
So I do have this
I have
wand
no
of
memory
opening.
of this place.
Will that open the gate?
I'm sorry, a what?
Wand of opening?
Um.
I have no idea how many charges it has.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Well, it's a portcullis. It's strictly not a door. I don't know
Oh,
if that
it's a
matters.
gate, though. Does Doc open a gate? I think it does.
Okay.
Fireball
You think the wand has anywhere from 10 to 15 charges left? And it basically works as a knock spell. So if we look at what a knock spell does,
If it will raise a portcullis, it's actually more powerful than I ever gave it credit.
knock. Let's see.
Goose.
The knock spell will open stuck or held or wizard locked doors. It also opens barred or otherwise locked doors. It causes secret doors to open. The knock spell will also open locked or trick opening boxes or chests. It will loose shackles or chains as well. If it is used to open a wizard locked door, it does not remove the spell, simply suspends it. In all other cases, the knock will permanently open locks or welds, although the former could be closed and locked again thereafter. It will not raise bars or similar impediments such as a portcullis.
Oh, come on!
But if the portcullis was locked,
It would at least unlock it. Yes.
though, I have a question.
I have an answer.
You don't lock a portcullis, you bar it. So would
Right.
it lift and move the bar?
It said it don't move bars.
So it wouldn't unlock a portcullis then.
No.
Unless the windlass for the portcullis had a lock on it and
Right.
was nearby.
Which typically it doesn't, right? It has a bar or whatever.
Yeah, typically
that
the
they
way
jam in
you
there.
typically the way you stop somebody from using a windlass is you just pull out the crossbar that you would use to operate the windlass.
Right.
No crank handle, no crank.
Yeah. Well, damn. That was at least hopeful, but not fruitful.
I still like the ogre lifting gates idea personally.
But he doesn't have the strength of an ogre.
We could just go knock on the front door and ask if the slavers are here and if they want to come out and talk to us.
Can we borrow a cup of sugar?
Do you have any tapestries?
Just tell them we don't have an appointment. It's okay. It's just
God,
pull Jack Ryan and just go knock on the door.
Well, so there was how many knoll sets are there in the front of this wall?
So there were 2 sets of 5, right? So there were
on the side. That was on the east wall.
5 sets of 2.
5 sets.
Five
of
sets
2.
of 2 on the east wall, right?
We could take out 5 sets of 2 if we wait till night and use the nuclear weapon.
Yeah. I can turn 6 archers' bows into sticks if they're bows into snakes if they're within 3 inches of me.
30
So
yards.
30 yards.
No, it's 30 feet. Range is always in feet. Range
Oh.
doesn't.
Okay, well, if there was
I'm sorry. No,
30 feet of
no.
me-
I take that back. Yes, range is 30 yards. It's area of effect that does it.
Right.
Is always
Yeah.
in feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always in feet.
I thought it was in furlongs, but okay.
Fathoms.
I think you're.
Elves.
So why do we have this as
Hectares.
a plan? So, Elminar will speak. That's all right. I think we should wait until nightfall. Deal with try to get the gnolls to all show up in one spot, and just spell the snot out of them until they are no longer breathing.
So wait till nightfall, run at the wall. When they see us, shoot them.
As soon as they bunch up, get them to bunch up somehow, and once they bunch up, lightning bolt and meteor swarm them to death.
All right. So one Scooby-Doo Benny Hill chase sequence coming up.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's one approach.
I do have
It's
one
the-
fireball and one lightning bolt spell.
It's the best idea we have right now. Would be to just wait until nightfall, use the ring. Yeah.
I've got 2 lightning bolt spells. If that helps, I think the ring is a much better approach. But
These spells, they're forceful, no? Can they not damage the structure?
They can.
Yeah.
you could just knock on the front door and ask for Ernesto Escobedo and see if he's there. It's the only approach I could think of. Otherwise, we have to go back through that window, in which case we're probably going to get caught.
Okay, so the ring only works at 70 yards. So
Okay.
we're gonna have to. I mean, if we're gonna do fireball and lightning bolt, we're kind of stuck at that anyway, right? 80 yards for me, or no, it's actually 70 yards because 10 per level plus 10, right? So
I can get their attention, if needs must.
her a fan dance.
Well, there's that, but no. I was thinking of casting continual light up on the top of the battlements and just flood the whole area with light.
No, I mean if you have the range for it, sure.
It's 60 yards, so
So you're still
I can-
you're still halfway to the building. We're all
That's
gonna have
fine.
to approach that far.
that's fine.
Okay.
But it'll get their attention, I'm sure. I mean, somebody turns on a floodlight. What are they going to do? They're going to run towards it, right?
Well, I don't know. They're semi-intelligent.
Perhaps they'll run away, but it will be a
Hey,
sufficient life source, from
if-
what I
if-
understand of these creatures, to spoil their dark
Uh-huh.
seeing capabilities.
And as far as I'm concerned, if they run away, my job's done. We don't have to
Problem
kill them.
solved.
Yeah. If they run towards it, well,
Then
I tried. Yeah.
or whatever. Okay, well,
And if they run away, we will slay them on the way out.
No,
Yes.
we will talk to them peacefully and bat them over the head with a rolled up newspaper.
And I'll
That's
cast
your
haste
job. My job is to slay.
And I'll cast haste on Derek and send him in there.
okay, so that's the plan, Bill. It's crazy, but no plan is stupid if it works, right?
That's right. And no plan survives contact with the enemy. So let's
And
see
I know what Bill's
happens.
thinking. I can't stand it. I know you planned it.
It's some
Somebody
kind of
catches the-
sabotage.
So, there we go. Somebody got it.
There we go.
Is that the
part
song that's
raid.
going to play as we raid?
Exactly.
I wish, man. I'd get copyright smacked so
You-
hard.
absolutely,
My
immediately.
grandkids would be born spinning.
What
Thank
what
you for
song
hanging
wa-
out, Rob.
What song was that? I'm blanking.
Sabotage, by the
Sabotage
Beastie
by the
Boys.
Beastie Boys.
Ah, okay. See, my brain defaulted to kill the orcs or destroy the orcs by 3 inches of blood.
Which is another good song. But I was always partial to Deadly Sinners by them. But I guess that's a little pat. Anyway, so you guys are waiting for the night. Which side of the stockade do you plan on assailing?
We should probably do the front because we could just use a fireball at the front door.
If we
Right.
have to, yeah.
Yeah.
And taking the front is the thing that they might least expect, and it's the thing we're most familiar with.
It's the foolish approach, so of course they wouldn't expect it. Let's go.
Remember, only a great fool would put the poison in his own goblet.
And I am no great fool.
Therefore,
haven't
cannot
even
choose the
begun.
wine.
All right, so you're waiting till night to do this. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same sheet of paper. I don't want to
Yes.
be accused. Okay. All right, so you wait until the night falls. I'm guessing you're staying put. You're not reconnoitering. You're not roaming around. You're just resting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul recommends that at the very least you all sleep for a couple of hours.
Does that
To
mean
be-
I get my speak with animals back?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a first level spell. If you do take the 15 minutes to pray at the end.
It's a second level, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a second level, but as long as you take the 15 minutes to pray.
Cool. Rules question though. Can I choose a new spell, or does it have to be speak with animals again?
No, you could pray for a new spell.
Excellent.
What is your second level spell you are putting in that place?
I'm thinking honestly, I always keep a slow poison in hand,
Okay.
but I'm gonna take spiritual hammer just in case we run into a white or a specter or something.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, the ability to smack something when you need a magic weapon, but you don't have a magic weapon, but that counts as a magic weapon, is always handy.
Correct.
And the undead fall outside your purview of be nice to everyone. So that is-
Yeah, they are not sentient nice unless you happen to meet a nice teetotaling lich, but I have yet to meet one. So
Well, and I have some news for you.
Matt,
You
Mod
won't in
Hunter,
this
we-
campaign.
Mod Hunter, we were told there would be no math.
you were lied to.
Has a magic user done fireball math versus
I have done more recreational trigonometry in D&D than I have in my own life.
I did this a long time ago, and I'm not being a Mr. Smarty Pants. Dungeon masters, fellow players, whatever your role is, it is 33 10 by 10 by 10 squares. If you are doing the standard dungeon with a 10-foot ceiling, it's just 33 squares. All you have to do is figure out where they're saying they're detonating the fireball and go
And count.
and just start counting 33 of those. Some of it will come back towards the party. Some of it will go the other way. If there's not enough room the other way, it's all coming back to the party. So, Father Noel's best. That joke's so bad, I'm surprised I didn't think of it, Rich. All right, so you guys are settling in for a bit of well, I hesitate to say a rest, but all right. Let's see if anything comes out on patrol. Well, thank you. That doesn't help me. DD Dice promptly did not show me what it rolled.
So it rolled in our favor, of course.
Of course.
Of course. All right. So who is basically who's taking a rest? Are you taking a rest right now, Holder, or are you going to wait till just before the assault? What are you guys going to do?
No, I'm going to take a rest.
Okay.
No, the others can handle the violence. I don't do violence, remember? If they need me, they'll have me after the violence.
Right on. And I rolled the wrong die anyway, so all right. So some time passes. The sun begins to wane over on the right hand of the stockade, that is to the west. And evening falls. It has been uneventful. You hear the faint chirp of crickets, and you steel yourselves for your assault. So, what order are you guys going in? Are you moving in a marching order? What?
Well, I expect Don Drexel's probably first, huh?
Yes.
Like up ahead a good bit, would you say?
Yeah, maybe 30 foot or 30-yard advance.
All right. I have to get within 60 yards of the walls to cast the spell, so that's what I'm waiting for.
I
All right.
must be as close as well, so I want to stay close to you just in case my spells are needed.
So,
So maybe what we can do is I will advance. I will cast the. Well, no, I need you to do your light.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I need to advance first,
Yeah.
then we need to wait like a solid minute for them to all get close, and then you need to nuke them. Provided
but
they don't run away.
if you cast that light, they will lose their infravision, right?
Yeah, they should. Firing down at us with a floodlight in their face is going to be pretty bad for them.
Yeah. So
yes.
yeah, let's try that. So
Yeah.
maybe myself and Holder will advance quietly, and then once he does his light spell, then we'll start the fireworks when depending on the result.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
So the marching order I've got here is Holder and Don Drexel, 30 feet in advance, Paul Durick with Elminar directly behind them. Am I right?
Well, 30 yards, just so we don't have
30
to play
yards,
games.
sorry, 30 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. Dooms, is that okay with you?
That works for me. Paul, have you a ranged weapon?
Paul actually has a light crossbow. He does not. It's not a greatly ranged weapon. It's more suitable for rooms and corridors and such
Sure.
like. I apologize. I didn't realize we'd be laying siege to a fortress.
It is no problem at all.
All right. But he doesn't have it cocked and ready, so he can get a shot off if need be. Tim, are you okay being right behind, or rather Zelmanar, being right behind Paul and Durek? You still have line of sight. You are still able to cast any spells.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Party starts to move up. It is dark where you are. I'm guessing you waited till the moon set.
At the least light possible. Yeah.
The least light possible. Okay. So you are going to be let's give it a roll. What is your hide in shadows for Don Drexel?
It's 53%. No, that's hide, not.
Move
It's
silently.
53. It is 53.
It is 53. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Move silently. I have boots of oven kind. So.
oh yeah, so that yeah. All right, so and I will
I'm
give
in magic armor, and otherwise I'm a half elf.
Okay, well that's very good. Well, in that case, it's not percentile. It's actually this. Okay. Along the curtain wall, you see the outer curtain wall is basically 2 floors high, so it's about 20 feet tall, and then the gatehouse is taller, but the curtain wall itself, you see that there are a couple of guards on either side on top of the tall towers, and they do not seem to notice you as you approach. Holder right behind them. You guys are in position in some scrub grass. Gentlemen, what are you doing? Who is casting first?
I think the plan is
Whoops,
to
I was on
cast-
mute. I am
That's all right.
casting continual light.
You are casting continual light. Okay. So, hitting them, the radius of continual light is going to be
Infinite.
just sunrise across the world of Greyhawk.
Yep.
All right, so area of effect, 6-foot radius globe, so it is a 60-foot. You will catch the guards in it. Casting time is 3 segments. You effectively have surprise on them because they are not expecting. So, ein, zwei, drei, zatch. They begin to yell and howl and create a general alarm. They are looking around, blinking, covering their snouts. They can't see. You hear the yipping and barking. I don't know if anyone here in the party speaks Knoll.
I actually do.
You actually do.
Yeah, most elves do. So.
Okay. They are screeching that there are attackers at the gate. Call the others, ready the arrows, light the cauldrons.
I can light the cauldrons for them.
Yeah,
Are
really.
you about to?
They'll get real hot real quick.
Okay. Let's go ahead then, and you roll initiative, Kevin.
All right. I'm doing
Wait for
this
them
on
to get
this.
close.
Whoops. Sorry. You guys got a 4. I got a 2.
Okay.
All right. Party goes first. Again, they are in continual light. They cannot see you. They are blind firing. You hear arrows wicking into the grass around you, but nothing is hitting you because at the range you guys are at, which is you're 60 yards back, right?
Yeah. 60 yards is our minimal distance.
All right, so with their bows, I say they're missing you, but it's important. It is important to check that because they are fighting at -4, and now we have to consider the range.
Which would probably be a further -2 at least.
At least. Yeah, range is a factor. For all you folks who've been sitting out there at home patiently waiting for some action, here it is. I will absolutely check that range though. All right, so range, bow, long. All right, so it's actually not that bad for.
That all depends on your perspective.
That's very true. All right. Wait, I was just looking at the.
That reminds me of my game on Saturday, where my party was admonishing my poor defenseless ogre mage just because he blasted them all with a cone of cold.
All right, here we go. So 4 arrows being fired. Kevin, you are still hidden. So
Yeah. My AC is 1. If that doesn't count hiding, that's just my normal AC.
that's fine. That misses. 16 becomes 12. That misses. Both of those arrows passed near Holder, so you think that they were shooting at him. That absolutely misses. And that misses. So they are knocking other arrows when it gets extremely hot up on top of the curtain wall. Kevin, how hot does it get?
It gets hot as a meteor coming through the atmosphere. Well, or closer, 3 meteors coming out of the atmosphere to very similar spots.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
that temperature. In Kevin, so
well, let's just say 5,500 degrees because I want their stuff to melt. But no, I don't know what the temp is, unfortunately.
All right, so our lovely ring of shooting stars. This is
1,500 degrees centigrade.
So
I like
3, I'm doing 3 at once. I'll try to hit as close to as many groups as I can. If they're not bunched up a lot, right?
well, it's 2 and 2. You could do as many as 4 if you wanted, but that would do fewer. That would do less damage. Or you could do 1 on each group. That would do a lot of damage, and they don't get saving throws.
Well,
for them.
those are the lightning balls, though. I'm doing the meteor swarm, which is a total of 3.
Okay.
And they do the same damage, regardless. The lightning balls do 2 to 8 if you do 4 or less. Yeah. So I'm going to do the meteors though, not the lightning.
So we do
Okay,
2 on one group
all right.
and 1 on the other.
12 points of damage. All right. So
Yeah, it does 24 to the ones it hits, and then 12 to the ones that are within 1 yard, I guess, in this case.
no, that 1 inch is 10 feet.
Oh, because it's a distance. It's a area of effect.
It's area of effect.
Okay, so it's 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, 2. We'll say the left group is getting 2. The right group is getting the 1. So, for 12 points of damage. Okay, so creatures within the burst radius must save versus magic. Okay, so 2 unlucky gnolls are struck for 12 points of damage, and they die. Their friends on either side does not save. He takes 24 points and dies. The other one takes 24 points and dies. So those of you coming along behind see this sudden flash of daylight brilliance that remains, and it is then colored a blue-orange as there is a thunderclap of 3 meteors appearing on the top of the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Charred knoll parts flying everywhere. So that completes the group up front. They do not get their second arrow volleys off. Gentlemen, by which I mean Durek and Elminar, what is your follow-up?
Are there any remaining alive at this point?
Not that you can see. You're kind of blinking because you now have purple spots in your vision, but you don't see anyone moving amongst the purple spots. There's a fair degree of fire and smoke. It's kind of hellish looking with a continual light, and the worshiper of Fultus over here, the paladin. That's pretty awe-inspiring, Durek.
Yeah, I'm gaining hit points from it.
All right, so
That's our indicator, Paul. Storm the gate.
Think we go storm the castle.
All right.
We have fun storming the castle.
Yeah, I'll call after
Inexplicably-
you. Have fun. Bye, guys. Have fun storming the castle.
Inexplicably, you hear Immigrant Song playing as you all rush towards the. Oh yeah, Atomic. Yeah, we miss you, Graph Paper, and hope you can rejoin us soon.
Come back soon, please.
Yeah, please do. All right, so yeah, thunderclap. It clears them off. You actually see an iron croc just kind of sailing off in a random direction, slinging something burning. It lands on the ground. It doesn't hit anyone, but yeah, they were apparently planning on pitch or oil for you guys. Durek and Elminar, you guys move as fast as you can, and you are now at the gate along with Paul. Paul takes a look at the closed gate and says, well, now what?
I'm not quite sure yet.
This is some rescue. When you came in here, did you have a plan for getting out?
Plan? We don't need no stinking. No.
All I care about is getting in, and we must do so quickly. But this does provide cover.
All right.
Cover from the battlements, at least.
As I'm running over, I'm going to yell, "Lift with your legs." That's the plan.
All right. So Paul is grabbing the edges of the gate and the drawbridge proper itself, and yells to you, "Durek, help me!"
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah,
let's
well,
see.
Don Drexel's going to close in as well. Now that the event's taken place.
I
Okay.
only have a 12 strength, but I'll help as well if I can.
Yeah, basically there's there's 5 of you guys.
The magic user strength is higher than mine.
It's equal to mine.
All right, so
Can't help it.
You can be a paladin with only a 12 strength.
yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
but I have an 18 con, a 17 wisdom, and a 17 charisma.
So the thief magic user with the 13 strength is ridiculous.
He's
All right,
the new door
here's what
opener.
we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna count off strengths. We're gonna do this as by the book as we can because you guys are all bunched up on the door, and this is definitely something that can happen.
That's when they dump the boiling sand.
Ooh, boiling sand. I wasn't gonna do that, but I like that. Let's see.
That was a little story that sounded well rehearsed, Bill.
All right, so I believe it. Yes.
Had a group of kobolds do that to 15th level characters once. I never had high level players hate kobolds so much in their life.
All right. Durek's strength is 12. What is what is Don Drexel's strength?
It's 13.
It's 13. Okay. And he has a higher strength. And Tim, what is Elminar's strength?
12.
12. Okay. Here we go. You guys are putting your back into it. Oh, dang it. You know how to do this, Bill. Here we go. I don't believe it. I literally adding. Okay. With a mighty groan, the rest of you guys and Paul begin to drag the drawbridge. You start to pull it down. You can see a few torches lit in the outer courtyard beyond. Noel's running about, apparently not expecting that. You see Noel's running with buckets, that sort of thing. So you manage to ratchet the drawbridge down, and you now have the portcullis in front of you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative once we get declarations. What is Durek doing?
All right. So then the portcullis is down. Of
Yes.
course. Well, I suppose I'm gonna go up to the portcullis and try to lift it.
Okay. What about Elminar?
Gonna go help him with that.
Okay, yeah, everybody can get on the portcullis to lift it. So is Don Drexel assisting?
Is the portcullis bars big enough for me to get my hand through it?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do some lightning balls through the portcullis at the jerkasses that are trying to run around and put out fires.
Okay, all right. Well, you have ample groups of jerkasses who now see that their outer drawbridge is down, so they're not dealing with fires anymore. There's in fact a dozen gnolls rushing through the gatehouse, which is behind the outer curtain wall towards you.
Very long.
Very disciplined for gnolls. they're keeping for gnolls. I just want to point that out for gnolls. What is Holder doing? You're muted if you're talking there.
No. I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
I've been thinking for about the past 3 minutes because it's like I could
That's
pray, no point. I may as well just help lift the gate because even if I cast sticks to snakes right now, they're just going to get fried. So I'll help with the gate.
All right. And your strength is 8?
9.
9. Okay, well,
Doesn't make
you
much of a
have an
difference.
absolutely average strategy. You're
Well, I know. I just find it funny that the magic users are both stronger than me.
Okay. All right. So you know what? I want you to roll it, Dooms. We're going to add, once again, everybody's strength. So that is going to be 8, 9, and then so this time we're looking for a low target number, but it is percentile dice. But first, let's roll initiative for Durek, please. Roll initiative, please. So 3. And that's also 3. So all this is happening simultaneously with gnolls rushing towards the gate with long spears to attack you guys with. Ishahay wants to know if you guys have gnolls to corpses as a prepared spell. It's funny you should bring that up. They have a ring of gnolls to corpses.
All of our spells are gnolls to corpses spells.
Pretty much.
All right. Who wants to roll the Ben Bars lift gates total?
Not me.
I do that.
All right. Whoever wants to do it, it's percentile dice. We're looking for a low number.
Tim, you doing that? You said.
No, you go ahead.
All right.
Monster
Well.
possibility.
We can
All right,
blame you.
all right.
I mean,
Yeah. Come on.
Nice.
22.
22.
Well, maybe.
22.
I think I've got a 7 myself. I do.
You do. 7 to yeah. You guys heave. And that thing starts ratcheting up. The knolls are coming in. Kevin, the spaces are small enough or are broad enough that it doesn't break the line of sight. Lightning balls. How many?
We're gonna do 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 lightning balls.
this is
2
gonna
to 12
hurt.
hit points of damage each. So,
You'll probably not kill them, but you'll maim them.
Well, if they overlap, they're gonna be hosed. But
Yeah.
if they don't overlap, yeah.
they are bunched up and charging with spears. They are not in a ragged line. They all are moving directly at you guys. I mean, they're kind of spread out. So that's 2 to 12 each. A range of 12. That's 120 feet. Because they are basically moving, you're gonna catch them essentially mid-stride. 4 inches per round, 3 feet in diameter, and any creature it touches or comes near to dissipating its charge. So that's 2 to 12.
And they get a save versus magic.
And they get a save versus magic. So basically, you're going to get the front 6. So we're going to do number 1. Saves. So he takes 6. Number 2. Does not save. He chars and dies. Number 3. Does not save. He chars and dies. Number 4. Saves and is badly injured. Number 5. Does not save. He chars and dies. And the 6th one. Saves and is badly injured. So 3 are badly injured. 3 drop dead. The gate is now open. The gnolls, remaining gnolls, cover the distance, and they're going to strike with long spears at Durek and let's see. They're going to be striking at Durek and Paul. So Durek, you're getting a couple. Both of those miss, and Paul is missed. Let's see. I think at this point, the ones up on the inner gatehouse wall are now ready with their bows, but they will be firing in the next round as they were rushing to position when the alarm went off when you guys lit up the wall. By the way, it's as bright as daylight. You guys are able to operate in full daylight, but you have the portcullis open. Let's get declarations. What is Dirk doing in this round?
Right. So we've got it open enough that that we can roll under, or it
You
doesn't feel like
you have opened it as high as you can reach.
Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. Thank you. It's strange. I got one of those Amber Alerts or whatever, and it's actually down the road from my house. So I had to look in the house and be like, "Hey, what's going on? My kid's in here or what?" Yeah. Well, I'm going straight in. If there's
It's
a charge, I'll
9:30.
take
Do you
that.
know
If
where your
it's
kids
closing
are?
into melee
God.
range, I'll cut some heads off.
Alrighty. Tim, how about Elminar?
I'm going to shoot a lightning bolt at the guys up on top of the wall.
Okay. Are you forking?
Yes.
Are you forking kidding me?
I'm not
Elminar, do you want-
locating you, man.
Do you want to say? Do you want to save your lightning bolt? I can get rid of their bows.
Okay. Yeah.
It's up
well,
to you.
let's-
Because if you want to save that lightning bolt for when they're all like packed together, like real tight.
Okay, we could do that, and I'll magic missile the guys that are injured.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. It is only 40. Well, 60 feet. Well, we got to consider altitude too. So it's maybe. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So it's. It's. I'm really bad at math. I'm going to say it's about 70 feet. So if that changes your plans, TK,
I have a 90-yard range on.
Oh, good lord! Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a 30-yard range. Sorry, on sticks to snakes.
That's gonna get him. That's still gonna get him.
Yeah.
All right, and Kevin, last but not least, how about Don Drexel?
You know what? I'm going to magic missile the ones that aren't hurt.
The ones that aren't hurt are
That
dead.
made the say that weren't well. There were 6. Is
They
there
were
only
injured,
6?
No, I'm sorry. There's still 6 behind the
Okay.
3 that are still alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna magic missile some of those guys back there.
Okay. All right. And they will be moving in this round to fight with their scimitars. Well, no, because the guys up front are fighting with their scimitars. They are going to still continue to fight with spears and thrust at Durek and at Paul. Paul hefts up his sword and goes on the attack. So let's roll initiative, and it is Tim's turn for initiative. Please, Tim, if you would, give us the holy D6 of destruction. I got a 3.
Nice.
All
Party
right.
got a 4. Okay, magic missile going first. Tim, are you spreading these out, or are you just pouring them into one?
I'm spreading them out.
Okay.
So I get 3 magic missiles at my level, so it's
All right.
3d4. So you got a 2, a 3, and a 3.
A 2, a 3, and a 3 becomes a 3, a 4, and a 4. The 2 that strike for 4 fell their targets because they were badly injured. The last one is blasted, but still barely on his feet. Kevin, go ahead and roll for Don Drexel.
Okay, so these are gonna. I'm gonna concentrate 3 on one and 1 on another.
Okay.
Because I have 4. I have 4 of them.
All right, roll the 3 and then roll the 1
All right,
for mine.
let's do that. 1, 2, 3, and then they're each plus 3. It's a total of 9 to 1,
Okay.
and then the other one is 2, unfortunately.
Okay, the 9 take that one off of his feet, so that leaves 5 plus an injured one back there, so there is now a total of 6 remaining. So let's go to Holder, your sticks to snakes
7
spell.
segments.
7 segments, thank you. So we have
35% chance each one is venomous.
oh my, okay.
I read the spell like the first thing. That was the first thing I did while I was waiting for the session.
I love it. Okay.
My favorite spell.
It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
It's I'm starting to like it.
It's fun. It's just fun.
Asps,
All right.
very dangerous.
Indeed.
You go first. Paul steps up.
Nice.
Paul steps up, and with a snicker snack. Here, have a longsword. You're not yourself unless you've had a snicker snack. Paul does not do a great amount of damage. However, that particular knoll did not have a great amount of hit points left. Dies. So there are 5 knolls left, and it is Durek's turn.
Well done, Paul. I chop a spear out of the way and stick my long sword through its spleen.
9.
This would be 9.
Let's
It's
see.
not going to work. AC 7.
AC 7. Yeah. Your blade kind of glides along his spear, and at the last minute, he pushes it out of the way. So there are 5. This is Paul's clearly the more dangerous. He's getting 3. Durek, you're getting 2. So these are all for Paul, who is armor class 2, and he is struck once by a long spear. and takes a couple of points of damage. It's kind of, the flat end of it sort of gigs him in the side a little bit. And these are Durek. And neither one of those hit Durek. All right. And I should point out, everyone around Durek is under the protection of a prot from evil spell. Your enemies will strike at negatives. Okay. So, we are doing, what's the area of effect on sticks to snakes?
It is anyone within 30 yards of me, so as long as I have a line of sight, that's it.
Okay.
Up to 7 targets, because I'm 7th level. So I can transform 7 sticks, so I can look at 7 bows and go, you get a snake, and you get a snake, and you get a snake, and you get a snake. Everybody gets a snake.
All right,
and then I have to roll percentile 7 times.
Okay, do your percentile rolls. There are only 4 archer gnolls up there on
That's
the wall.
fine. I can pick spearmen, too.
Oh, excellent.
Well, arrows are sticks as well, but
Spears are sticks, too. All right, so 1 bowman gets a non-venomous snake, and they will obey me, by the way.
Okay.
1 bowman gets a non-venomous snake. 1 bowman gets a non-venomous snake. The last bowman gets a venomous snake.
All right.
All right, and now the spearman. 1 spearman with a venomous snake. That's a D12. That's not what I want. I'd love to roll a D100 and a D12. That'd be awesome, but no. All right, 1 gets a non-venomous snake, and then the last one gets a non-venomous snake.
Okay, so you got a couple of venomous snakes out of the deal. So what do they do? Do they do it in this round?
As far as action, let's see. Able to change blah, 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 sticks similar, turn into snakes. Note that magical items such as staves and spears, which are enchanted, do not change. It'd be a great way to find a third magical spear. I would presume they do, because it says they will attack as commanded by the cleric. So it doesn't say anything about them taking a round to just materialize. They just go poof and are snakes.
All right. Well, go ahead. It would be different if it was summoned monsters. Yeah.
No, and they technically they aren't summoned; they're transmuted. So
they are transmuted. So, the venomous snakes.
You want me to roll for them first?
You're having them bite.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm basically going to treat these as, let's see, what is a good...
Just from personal experience, non-venomous snakes hurt when they bite too.
They do. Well,
So
specifically, what I'm going to order them is to chew, because some snakes chew.
Yes.
All right, so snake, poisonous. We're going to treat this... Now, these are not giant. But just the same. Well, I tell you what, go ahead and roll for their strike. We'll see if it matters.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to roll for the venomous ones first.
I feel a little.
I got a 14 and a 10.
14, okay. Let's see. The 14 is the only one that we really say might have gotten, but I'm gonna check that. Combat tables, here we go.
And then there were 5 non-venomous ones, which I guess all they can really do is chew and squeeze.
Okay, the 14 does in fact hit, so he needs to make a saving throw versus poison.
Yeah, I don't think the bite damage is going to matter too much.
He gasps. There is a very colorful looking snake wrapped around his arm where his spear used to be, and he screams and falls down thrashing, which stops fairly quickly. The fellow up on the wall is just yelling and, he's trying to draw a belt knife to deal with this thing. Now, the constrictors what do you order them to do?
Same thing. Chew.
Strict.
Oh, just to bite. Okay, so give
Chew.
me some...
Well, squeeze if they can. If they can do both, do both. But
Okay.
otherwise, you said they weren't large snakes, so the chance of a 4-foot long constrictor doing something dangerous to somebody man-sized is very, very, very small.
Well, he said they weren't giant snakes.
I said they weren't
Yeah.
giant snakes. I didn't say they weren't large snakes. And a boa constrictor can be 7 feet long. And
Oh,
still...
it can be longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easily.
If
So I'm
Florida
going
one
to
can
treat
be
this
10 feet long.
basically that they are bound and unable to move if you successfully hit with them. So
Yeah, that's
go
fine.
ahead. Go ahead and roll.
17,
Nice.
12, 16, 10, 20.
All right, the 12 will not hit.
So 3
The
hits.
10 will not
Eh,
hit.
Everything else will. So 3 hits.
Everything else will. So you've got some constricted guys. So there's 2 that aren't constricted. Wow. This
But
has
they're
gone-
bowless.
But they're bowless. Gonzalo Lira can in fact win a fight with a boa constrictor. Yes, but you're not a weedy. Granted, they're very tall, but you're not a weedy hyena man. So
Oh, and I have these guys for 14. Yeah, 14 rounds.
so that's a turn and a half.
They won't
This
last
this
that
is
long.
Well,
this
no,
is
but I
going-
can. But even then, I can still order them around, and
Right. I just want to point out to anyone who's watching that anybody who's seen this party like get chewed up and spit out by goblins, or barely make it out of a fight with a group of hobgoblins in this very dungeon. This is how the phrase that my daddy used to teach me, and I'm sure this applies to so many of us here, even at this table. Son, some days you get the bar, and someday the bar gets you. Well, today they got the bar. At least up to this point. So this pack of gnolls is handled. There are still in the distance yells of alarm. Stuff is still going on. But this initial group of gnolls right there at the inner curtain wall is dealt with for the most part, with a couple that aren't. Let's get declaration of action. What is Durek doing?
I'm cutting down one of the ones who's not.
Alrighty. How about Elminar?
I'm gonna focus some lightning bolts on the guys up on the wall.
Okay. Holder, are you continuing to direct snakes?
I will direct snakes and beg and beg that the lightning bolts don't hit them.
Okay.
I shall do my
and-
best.
I'm sorry, what was that, Tim?
I shall do my best to not
Okay.
hit this.
And Don Drexel.
I'm gonna draw my scimitar and try to chop on one of the guys that are approaching that's not constricted.
Okay, let's roll initiative, and that goes over to you, then, Kyle. Please, that's a D20 or a D6. Sorry.
D20.
Yeah, I'll take the D20 against your D6.
I got a 5. Party got a 2.
Damn.
The 2 remaining gnolls flee. They turn to run. Those of you that wish to attack them may cut them down with wild abandon.
Does that include my snakes?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a poisonous snake, strike at 1. But we have some melee and some lightning bolts. Let's give that 13
That's
with
AC3.
bonus. That hits. Yeah, you.
Oh,
get one.
yeah, it would be AC1, right?
Yeah, and he is a
Or
large
AC,
target.
Whatever. Thank you. Come on. There we go. 11.
He is a dead target. Let's see. Don Drexel.
All right. I got a 12.
That will hit.
Okay, so it's 1d8 plus 2.
Scimitar, is Scimitar large? 1d8, 1d8?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So 5.
Okay, he's actually still up. So Paul. Yeah, well, I've got it. No worries. All right.
Right.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't.
All right. Snake, don't feel me now. It failed me.
Your snake failed you. He looks over his lack of shoulder and goes, "Oh, don't do what?" All right, Tim, you're forking lightning them, man. So roll some forking lightning, please. You are 6th level.
66.
Yeah, God. Even if I rolled saving throws, it wouldn't matter. You explode some knolls. Patow, 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 patow.
Hey, some days the dice taketh away. Today the dice liketh us.
The dice liketh a lot. That is over 4 per die, which ain't bad. Okay, so you
Pretty good.
blast the ones up on the inner gatehouse wall. There is a general alarm being rung in this place. I love this vibe. I absolutely love it. This is just straight up assault, and I'm here for it. So,
And you picked on our plan, sir.
I picked on your plans.
Well, we've had our butts kicked by this dungeon so very much. It's nice to
hey.
actually win for once.
I am absolutely with you guys. So you have, for the moment, like you're all kind of panting and looking around. You know, hey, where's the next target? Where's the next target? There's other than the alarm clanging in the distance, and by alarm, I want to make sure we're not talking about like a Brinks mechanical buzzer or anything like that. It's like somebody clanging furiously on a gong or something like that.
Just
Other
like the best D&D movie ever out there, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
I'm gonna order the remaining snakes to just go and search out. Take the remaining turn and a half, basically, and have them just search out individuals.
Okay.
Do what snakes do.
Right on. Search in, seek and destroy. All right.
Yeah.
So the snakes scatter to go do that. You lost a couple up on the wall.
I figured.
Close quarters combat. That's blue on blue. That's going to happen. But you still got enough to go out there and create problems. But yeah, there's this tang of ozone in the air because it's, well, I mean, no, there was the meteors and they burned a little bit. So yeah, it's a combination of burning pitch, ozone, blood, and other than the alarm, silence. It is eerily quiet for just a heartbeat. Gentlemen, what are you doing? Durek, what are you doing? It's a new round.
Continue to infiltrate.
All right, so you guys are just you're moving straight ahead.
Yeah. I'll gesture for Paul to come along with me.
All right,
want to make it to the other side of this space.
Paul is following with the witch light above you, shining down into this place. You can see the smaller inner portcullis is there. It is also closed. Tim, what about Elminar?
I'm gonna stay behind Dirk just in case.
Okay. So TK, how about Holder?
On second thought, there was a couple of venomous snakes. Like there was one venomous snake down by me still, like in the portcullis area.
Yes.
I'm gonna scoop that one up and keep it with me. Just carry it with me, so if need be, I can kind of scream like a little girl in a nice high pitch and just throw it.
I like it.
And I will follow along.
And Kevin, how about Don Drexel?
I'm going to run up with Durek to try to help lift that portcullis.
All right,
When we
let's
get up
go.
there.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative. And Kevin, I think it comes over to you, so that's
Okay.
Gonna be a D6.
+2 on initiative, right?
The important thing is that you think that, Kevin.
I got a 3.
Well, I
still
got a
did.
2 because
Nice.
my dice hit yours, therefore it doesn't count. So I'm gonna re-roll. No, I'm kidding. All right, you guys win initiative. You rush across. You are at the inner portcullis, and it seems like a lifetime ago. But when you were here a month ago, it was jammed. It appears to have been fixed because it is now closed. Let's go ahead. It's now a new round. It is only big enough for Durek and for one other person to get it. Well, it's only big enough for 2 people, whatever people those are. So what are you doing in the new round, Dooms?
Right. So is the ground muddy and whatnot, soft dirt or something like that? Or
I
clay?
mean, there have been frosts and snows where you are here. I mean, it's let me check the map.
That gives us a second for add a character. What should we do?
Yeah, I mean it's muddy, but hey, you don't have an Ankh egg bursting out of the ground to attack you.
Right. So we could potentially go under it if we wanted to, as a large group. But that would take effort. So it and I'm sorry, I might have misunderstood, but it's jammed all the way shut.
It's not jammed, it's just closed.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll try to lift it. There's only 2 of us. I guess that would be me and Paul then. I don't expect much success.
Okay.
Unless this dude's like sporting 18-100, which...
I don't think... No. All right, so... hang on. Okay, let's see. All right, so you guys have made that portcullis. It is fairly flush against the wall. I mean, there's like a 6-inch step back for the portcullis, but it's not like you're gonna find any shelter if anything goes sideways. So Dirk, you're going to try and open. Paul gets over there, and he's going to try and open with you. Tim, Elminar is doing what?
I'm keeping guard.
Okay.
Watching
how about
for
Holder?
things.
Are you ready to cast Poison Snake on somebody?
Holder,
You're
on
muted.
mute.
Unmute thyself.
I'm pushing Older into the gate.
My apologies. I just stepped away.
through
What?
the ball.
It's your turn to choose what you're going to do.
What are
Oh,
you doing? You guys have
I'm
made it to the inner portcullis.
I'm holding a snake. There's not much I really. I mean,
Okay,
I
you
can
get
put one hand into it, but I'm not. The other hand's holding a snake. There's not much.
You're getting
I can
ready to cast Cottonmouth if it seems appropriate.
Yeah,
there's
there's
only two
not
people
much I
that-
can do.
There's
Sorry, I
only 2
took
people that could do the gate anyway, so
All right.
Yeah.
you couldn't
And
help.
how about Don Drexel?
I'm going to get ready to cast another spell if I need to, assuming somebody comes around. So web
Okay. All right.
inside the portcullis if somebody comes from the inside. So
That's fine. Well, you guys have been stopped by a portcullis, so that's great. Don't strain yourselves. All right, roll initiative, please. And Tim, it's your turn.
I think I went last time, actually. Or is it holding?
Uh,
I'll do it again if we have to.
All right, I got a 5.
Oh, God, we're screwed. Well, the dice didn't help us that time.
Okay. You hear a commotion up on the roof. There are more gnolls that have arrived up on the roof. They are looking over, but their round is basically spent looking over at you guys. Roll percentile dice, please, if you would, Derek.
There's no way I'm going to
0-7.
make this again at like half the chance.
Roll it.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, even with him helping you, you guys are struggling to budge this thing. You hear the clamor up above of more gnolls, but that is where we will leave it this week. It was an exciting assault. I love it. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. Thank you all very much for being here tonight. Big thanks to Doomsword Deathmaster. He will be joining us again on Friday for Gamma World. Tim, thank you very, very much for being here. You guys should, by the way, absolutely subscribe to Doomsword's channel, absolutely subscribe to Tim's channel, and absolutely subscribe to Thane Kyle's channel. Thank you, TK, for joining us tonight.
Of course.
And last and not least, Kevin has no channel to subscribe to, but again, he's like he's like Harry from Sultans of Swing, and Kevin doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. Anyway, so with that said, everybody, thank you for being here tonight. The party has punched their way in to the Slaver's Stockade. What will they find as they go in? Will it be more gnolls? Will it be more foemen? Will it be traps and tricks? Or could it be a dreaded owlbear? Tune in next week to find out. Peace. Good night. Love you all.
Have you seen my owlbear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owlbear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.